And first, we need to establish disease is defined as any change from a state of health. So if you do not have any change in a state of health, even if you are carrying the pathogen, you are not you do not have the disease. This is very apparent with things like HIV. HIV you can get in, it can be infected, it can be established, but there at the beginnings there's not a change in the state of health. Now they're realizing that there's usually kind of a minor thing that goes on right at the very beginning of HIV infection that most people don't even recognize, maybe some flu-like type symptoms. Um, for a few days, but then you can spend days, weeks, months, even years without getting the disease that comes from HIV, which is AIDS. So the disease is what's classified as a change in the state of health. So you can test positive for COVID-19, for the SARS-CoV-2 virus, but not have COVID-19. And that's what they're talking about when they're talking about wanting to sample random members of the population to see how prevalent this virus is in our society, even the ones that are not exhibiting symptoms. Okay, so a disease, a change in the state of health. So do remember now that infection, just because you have the virus, does not mean that you have the disease. So you need to make a differentiation on that, and sometimes lay people don't necessarily make a differentiation on that. So contamination, you have come in contact with it, but if you wash your hands, you may get rid of it. It may not start up an infection if it doesn't get into your mucous membranes and into your cells. If it does move inside, gains entry, then you have an infection, but you still may not have the disease yet. Disease is classified as when it adversely affects the body, okay? Okay, so I think we covered this contamination versus infection versus disease. This is some more examples of that. So we've been focusing this course on infectious diseases. That is just one category here in this infectious diseases caused by an infectious agent. Our colds, our flus, our COVID-19, herpes, all of those things are infectious diseases. But do not forget there are a lot of other categories of diseases with different causes that are not infectious.